I don't normally review sports animes, they don't always have enough content to talk about. They tend to be quite generic and repetitive. But I'm a big football fan, so in celebration of the 2014 World Cup, I thought I would make an exception. In this video I'll be reviewing the football anime Giant Killing. It's not set in high school, the main team doesn't just win everything because they're the main team, and most of the content is impressively accurate to real football. Everything from the actual sport to the supporters are pretty realistic. This is by no means the best sports anime ever, but it's much better than the generic high school sports anime we normally get. Giant Killing follows East Tokyo United. Despite playing in Japan's top league, they're not having the best of times. They've won several seasons just avoiding relegation and have gone through a handful of managers. Our story starts with the arrival of ex-East Tokyo United hero, Tatsumi, whose goal is to regain ETU's former glory. This plot sounds like the perfect underdog story. The small team starts as the underdogs and then surprises everybody by beating all the big teams and winning the league. Thankfully, they actually handle this very well. They don't just hand the team victories just because they're the main characters. In fact, they spend their first bunch of games actually losing. It takes a much more realistic approach to how a sports team actually works. It gives you in-depth viewpoints from all the players, coaches, club staff and even the supporters. You get to see people from different viewpoints react to the situations. The players have to focus on playing football, the club staff have to make sure the club is doing well financially, and the supporters have to make sure they're giving their club the right support. Like I said, the anime has impressive accuracy in all these aspects. The supporters act how they do in real life and the players play like real people. This is what separates Giant Killing from other sports anime. You can really relate to all the characters and situations. Of course they don't make everything totally realistic. The actual games had to have added drama, and they even had points where players would just stand and talk. The matches were slowed down and they gave an insight into the players' thoughts as they played the games. This reduces the actual time we get to see them playing football, but it would have been boring if we didn't get the extra drama. Another thing I really liked was they didn't drag out the matches too much. Some of the matches even started and ended in one episode, giving the story time to focus on more things like training sessions and character development. Though this show is very accurate and well researched, I don't think it would be as appealing to people who aren't in football. You probably won't notice a lot of these references if you don't go to football games. They spend a lot of time showing us the cultural aspects of being a football supporter, and since not every single person watching this video will be a football fan, this could be less entertaining for a non-football fan. But there's a lot of drama going on out with the actual sport, so it should still be very enjoyable. A big downside to this anime is that it only had one season, and really doesn't look like it's going to get another season. Thankfully they didn't just leave us hanging right in the middle of the story, but they would need at least 2 or 3 more series to complete the football season. Due to the show being less generic than other sports anime, it wasn't insanely popular. So unfortunately we probably won't get another season. But that's just something that comes with anime, and you can't really deduct points. They really did pull off a great conclusion with what they had. Like I said, they didn't just leave us hanging on a cliffhanger. There was a really big cast of characters in Giant Killing. You get to know all the players, all the coaches, all the staff, and even some of the individual fans. The main focus of the anime is of course the manager and his team. The term Giant Killing is actually the tactic the manager uses to take out big teams. Surprisingly, a lot of the players are actually developed really nicely. They don't just focus on the same players throughout the whole show. At the start they focus on the older, more experienced players, but as the team develops, the new players start to become more important within the team. This is yet another unique aspect of Giant Killing. Our main character Tatsumi, the manager, is a really enjoyable character. He uses a lot of good strategies and mind games to win the match. He even plays mind games with his own players to trick them into playing better. I was quite impressed with how they handled this. They used a lot of foreshadowing and didn't pull the underdog card. Getting an insight into the fans was great. As a fan myself, it was great to see how a show represents the supporters individually, rather than just background images. You get to know 2 groups of supporters. The older fans who are rediscovering their passion for ETU, and the newer, more modern fans. I thought that this was a really well executed part of the show, but again, I'm not sure if people who don't go to football games could really appreciate it. The style of animation was quite unique. They gave it a very cartoonish feel, but kept it somewhat realistic. The art style was really nice, but the quality of animation wasn't amazing. It was clear that they didn't have a huge budget. When in the game, a lot of the shots were really close up and you could normally only see 1 or 2 players on the screen. This isn't a huge put off, but it can take away from the immersion sometimes. Though the animation was lacking in quality, the art style wasn't. All the characters had nice, unique, detailed designs, and for the most part the backgrounds looked great. They used a lot of black lines for shading, and thick outlines for the characters. It sounds like it would look weird, but it actually worked really well. The characters were designed really nicely, even though some of their features were exaggerated. None of the characters looked too anime, which was a nice change. Overall, the animation and art for Giant Killing were pretty good. They weren't amazing, but it didn't take too much away from the show. They were able to create some great action and drama with the budget they were given, and the character designs were all pretty memorable. The soundtrack for Giant Killing was really enjoyable. The tracks really backed up what the anime was about, and really hyped up the action scenes. There was a really great mix of different instruments and pacing that created many great scenes. One of the key elements of a football game is the sound and the atmosphere it creates. Giant Killing done a great job of pulling this off. The opening was also brilliant. It was fast paced, it was diverse, and it really got you pumped up for the next episode. It mixed so many different styles of music in one song, which is really fitting for a football anime. Football is a worldwide sport with many cultures and styles attached to it, so this opening worked really well. Overall, Giant Killing was a really unique sports anime. You won't see many sports anime focus so much on the accuracy and culture of the sport. It really shows off how entertaining football is for both the players and for the fans. It is a shame that we probably won't get another season, but they did a great job with the time they had, and really created a memorable story. If you are a football fan, then I would 100% recommend this anime. And if you're not, give it a go and see how much you enjoy it. I'd love to hear what a non-football fan thinks of it. Thank you for watching my review on Giant Killing. Be sure to comment with your thoughts on the show, and if you enjoyed this review, click the like button. If you want to watch more of my reviews, you can click subscribe or any of the links on the screen. Thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.